very much. I'm going to call out our sponsors for our two-day event. Today is a jazz brunch, and tomorrow, God willing, we will have our third annual golf tournament. The golf director is going to come in a few minutes and tell us if that's going to be able to happen because it's going to be raining tonight and tomorrow. If it doesn't happen, I still want to thank our sponsors, and I'm going to acknowledge them here today. So I'm going to start with our jazz sponsors. We have U Street Parking, jazz sponsorship. Jazz band sponsor package, Mr. Kwame Brown. Specialty drink sponsor, Anita Cook-Wells with the RLJ Company. And those are our jazz sponsorships for the afternoon. For our golf sponsorship, we have Spectrum Management with George Ty Simpson. He is the title sponsor at the $10,000 level. This is Ty's second year sponsoring our our golf tournament. At our platinum level, we have H Street Main Street representatives here. Douglas Development. We also have our parent company, H Street Community Development Corporation, H Street Investment Corporation, Anthony Bowling, and Adiyama. I will mess up your last name. Thank you. We have Mr. Kenneth Brewer Sr., Mr. Phil Hampton, Mr. Eric Jones, and Mr. Frank Taylor from FS Taylor. And Mr. Taylor said he has a lot of questions after our presentation, and I just want to let you know now, if you have questions, I'm here to answer them. So he said he has a list, so we shall see. The beverage card sponsor, Cindy Athley and Gary Rappaport. And we have a host of people who have sponsored us by buying jazz tickets, ads, souvenir journal ads, planning the foursomes, and just donating money, which you will all see once the souvenir journal is printed. We have all of our sponsors listed. On your table, a lot of books. You can put them in your handy-dandy bag, take them home, and read them at your leisure. It just gives information about Global Scholars Foundation, which was our last publication of 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Anthony. Angel Rich, with, you see her banner over on the side here. Credit Rich. Her and her husband, Paul Rich. And Anthony, what was Gold level, $2,500 for our golf tournament. This is the and the Steve Harvey Foundation at what level? $1,000. $1,000. Thank you so much. These came in this weekend. All the sponsors will be printed in our souvenir journal. So we're not going to leave anybody out. We definitely appreciate your gifts. We definitely appreciate your support for the Global Scholars Foundation. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn the microphone over to the man himself, Mr. Kenneth Brewer. Kenneth is the CEO of H Street Community Development Corporation. He is board chair for Global Scholars Foundation. He has been my traveling partner for the last 13 years. We have traveled the globe, back and forth. He is the staunchest supporter of Global Scholars Foundation, of the foundation, and of me personally. And I just want to say to him publicly today, thank you for all that you've done for the program. And he's going to give some remarks. And we'll have Mr. Jenkins, who is the chair for the John A. Wilson Scholarship. He's going to come up and give some remarks. Then you're going to see our video, and if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming. And this is my retirement year. I'll be leaving H Street Community Development Corporation to go off to Florida to live. And I hope that Marcia will replace me. She's done an actually great job with all of our programs. Most of the things you see written about H Street, Marcia has written. And she is just a fabulous executive director of the Global Scholars Foundation. I want to enlist you all to help us raise more money for the Global Scholars Foundation. If you have friends, family, and relatives, please tell them about our website. It's globalscholars.foundation. And you can see everything about us on there. This video here will tell you a really good story about us. And all of our kids finish high school and go on to college. And they're actually citizens of the world. I want to thank all of the board members who are here. my boss, Steve Charlie Farrell Curtis, who has allowed me to do these things that we do today. And this golf tournament is the third opportunity we've had to play golf, and it's been fantastic. This will be a banner year in raising money for the Global Scholars Foundation. I think our estimate is almost near $80,000. So I want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and my family's. So next we'll see the video.
Oh, no, before we go, sorry. So we're gonna let Mr. Jenkins talk, the governor, speak for a few minutes. But before we do that, Christina, I told you I was gonna put you on the spot. Christina works at Woodmore Club, and I've seen her every time I've come out there. I've seen Christina, so I ran into her the other day when we were talking to the managers here, and she's updated me on everything that's been going on in her life. Christina was our 2019, 2017 cohort, and she works here at the club, but she wants to update you. That's why I was gonna put her on the spot on the fabulous things that have happened in the last 4 years. So, Christina.
Where'd they go in 16?
We went to Dubai, Australia, and Abu Dhabi. My name is Christina Cherry. I currently just graduated college, Harrisburg University of Science and Tech, with an environmental science major and a minor in hydrology. I'm going into the Army. I got recruited to the Army to be an officer for geospatial and informational systems.
I want our alumni to stand up. We have Shanae in the back, and we have Darius in the back. Oh, who was in the back? Shanae, the recent graduate of Fremont University. She's on her way to law school very shortly. And when Darius comes back, I'll make him stand up as well. Casey is our board member. Casey is our first student. Casey is finance major, working, adulting, doing all that good stuff.
Take care of my dog.
Former student. So I'm going to hand the mic to Mr. Jenkins, and he's going to give you some information about the John A. Wilson Scholarship.
All right, the John A. Wilson Scholarship was established in 2008 in honor of John A. Wilson, who was a chair of the city council, who dedicated his career toward community services and education and opportunities for young folk in the District of Columbia. To date, we have given out 81 scholarships totaling $810,000. Many more. In the next month or so, we will have a fundraising, or we're planning a fundraising. To qualify for the scholarship, one has to be a resident of the District of Columbia and attending a DC public or charter school. One has to make application for admission, have an academic transcript for it. 500 word essay is required. That essay has to be concerning what community services the potential awardee has participated in. We're sort of going in a different direction. I say that the current, the grade point average was 2.7 in order to be considered. But what we found out was those kids who received, let's say that we gave $10,000 scholarship, and the school that they attended gave them a $50,000 scholarship. When our $10,000 got to that school, the school would subtract their $10,000 from that $50,000 and take our money. So we wanted to know how we could better serve kids with lower grade point average. Because if you had less than a 4.0, it was highly improbable that you were going to get one of our scholarships. So what we decided to do this last year was to lower the grade point average to a 2.5, so that more students would qualify for a scholarship. those who receive full rides or a tuition scholarship from the institution that they're going to attend, that money would be, for lack of a better word, a waste. So why not take that money and give it to the students who have to take out loans? The average college graduate has between $30,000 and $50,000. They have $30,000 to $50,000 in debt 6 months after they leave school, when they graduate in life. Those loans are due, and the average repayment of those loans is about $330,000 per month. So if you are a recent college graduate and you're trying to get established, where is that money coming from for repayment? I have experience all my career was on the university level in academic counseling and admission as well as financial aid. So when I talk with students, I try to persuade them to look at a community college or a local college, i.e. UDC, where you're paid less than $5,000 per semester, and you borrow less money. I was talking with a parent about a week ago. Her daughter is at Trinity, Washington, who has full ride. She's been there for 2 years. She's talked her mother into allowing her to apply to mortgage, where her tuition will be $18,000. She has a full ride free at Washington Trinity. Where am I going with this? Most folks think on the front end about college, getting admitted and finding money. And most parents borrow money. So they don't think about the back end. Once your child finishes, completes the education, or whether the student drops out or completes the education, that money is due. So if you're $50,000 in debt, that's an awful lot of money that you got to repay. So that's one of the reasons why we are lowering the grade point average, so that we can help students, and hopefully they won't have to borrow as much money. We are presently accepting applications for the next academic year. We've also published, we have a publication out, and you have on this, all of the information about this scholarship is printed there. If you want to give some donations, we will accept them. Okay, if you have any questions, I'll be on the side.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. So right now, Eric is going to cue up the video, which is really short, and I'll come back with all the answers. The Global Scholars Foundation, GSF, a 501c3 language and cultural immersion nonprofit program for District of Columbia teens, was founded in 2006 by its parent company, the H Street Community Development Corporation, in an effort to increase communication and global competency skills of DC teens by exposing them to languages and cultures of other countries. This two-pronged approach encouraged students to appreciate differences and more readily accept diversity. The GSF promotes the following 4 components of global competence: international awareness, appreciation of cultural diversity, proficiency in foreign languages, and competitive skills, through a year-long program delivered to 14 to 18-year-old District of Columbia teens in 3 phases. Phase 1 is a 6-week summer intensive leadership academy that introduces the fellows to the following 7 key dimensions: communication, time management and goal setting, decision-making, getting along with others, working in group settings, and discovering learning and leadership styles. During phase 2, fellows meet twice monthly on Saturday to work with a language instructor, learning and studying the language and culture of the country being studied and the travel destination. In phase 3, the final phase, students travel internationally for 2 weeks to the country they have studied.
The program focuses on 3 major components: language and culture immersion, college readiness, and financial literacy. As its mission, GSF aspires to cultivate a community of culturally literate teens. GSF considers itself a one-of-a-kind program that is committed to helping district teens become responsible citizens both of the world and their own communities through educational programming. Over the past 16 years, GSF has served approximately 300 students, toured 30 colleges and universities, studied 5 foreign languages, traveled to 6 continents on 7 international educational tours, and 100% of students graduate high school. 85% of students attend and graduate college in 4 years. In the next 3 to 5 years, GSF goals are to have implemented strategic fundraising and outreach plans that 1, increases the participation among DC public schools, and 2, increase funding sources to sustain the program. On behalf of the GSF board and staff, we appreciate your generosity and support of the Global Scholars Foundation.
Thank you.
You know, that was such a thorough presentation. All my questions are answered.
Does anyone else have any questions about the program that may have needed a little more clarity in the video? We did not add to the video, but we are coming back online. So the pandemic had us down for a couple of years because we take our students from public and public charter schools. Since they were closed, now they're reopened. President Biden says the pandemic is over. So we are going to reopen for business. We are now accepting students for our next cohort. Our travel destination is Vietnam and South Korea.
All right.
Going back to Asia. So this is something that I don't often include, excited about that, in the presentation is how students, how we get our students, how students come to GSF. So I sent out a very long application to all public and public charter schools. I also sent them out to former students, people that we have associations with, collaborations with, and they will, give them to the students. Usually I have a person like Ms. Compton Harris up here from Richard Wright. She already has how many students coming? How many students you have in the queue waiting? Yes. So the counselors have these students, they give them the application, they send them to me. If the student completes the 13-page application, and it's long, but it's not hard. You have one whole page of one-word answer. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite song? The idea is completion, commitment to completion. You have to complete the entire thing. Once they send me a completed application, they get asked to an interview. The interview is conducted with me, Ken, usually Johan, and Brian, and maybe some student will come back and sit in. And it's a scoring system. So the top scorers will advance to the program. We take the top 25 scores. 25 has been our max number because I'm one person and it's 25 teenagers. So you do the math. We don't want to overextend the program because it's a long program. The students are with us for well over a year. When they finish the program, we take said students out of the country for 2 weeks. So 25 teenagers backpacking across the world. It's a big undertaking. So we take what we can manage. The students come, they do the interview. If they score high enough, we make an offer, they accept, then the program. The program, as you saw in the video, is 3 phases. Students get 3 opportunities to miss class on Saturday, or during the first 6 weeks. You don't even have to tell me why. I don't even want to know why. But you get 3 opportunities to miss. After that, you are excused from the program. And we have had to excuse students from the program for not showing up. That's all you have to do is just show up. It is a very long program. I stress that to parents who think oh God, I gotta get my kid in this program. They gotta be part of it. Please, please, please. The kid could care nothing about the program and they don't come. And then it's, tension between the parent and the student because the student doesn't want to do it. The parent sees the value in it and the student may not. So they don't show up and we have to excuse them from the program. We are raising money around because taking this out of the country internationally is not cheap. The student does not have to pay anything for the trip. They only have to get their passports. Even if we go to a country where we have to get visas, we do that as well. So all they're responsible for is packing lightly and getting their passport and finishing the program up to them. So the trip is the last thing that we do. And when we talk about GSF, everybody's like, oh my God, that's fabulous. You went to, Egypt. I want to go to Egypt. And it's a great trip. But what about all those students who graduated high school? 100% of our students graduate high school. And somebody challenged me one day. They said, why do you keep bringing that up? That's not a big deal. If it wasn't a big deal, everybody would be doing it. And right now in DC, everybody's not doing it. We don't have 100% graduation in the District of Columbia, for public or public charter. So for me, that's a big deal because that is the gateway to the rest of your life. You graduate high school, you move on, you go to college, and so on. Most of our students do graduate in 4 years. A few of them have taken an extra semester, an extra year, but 85% of our students go with full scholarship and they graduate in 4 years. And I'm going to ask Darius to stand. He just came back. So Darius is one of our former students. 2015, Darius? 2015. Darius is back in DC. He was in Ohio working after he graduated college. And now he's back in the city complaining about how expensive it is to live there. But nevertheless, he's back. Glad to have you back, Darius. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the GSF the fundraising committee. We met by Zoom every Friday, trying to get this golf tournament together, trying to get the jazz brunch together. And we got the jazz brunch together for the people who said, oh, I don't golf. Okay, so we got something for you to do this year. We got the jazz brunch for you. I'm gonna ask them to stand, and I want you guys to give them a big applause because they worked really, really hard to get this together. I'm gonna start with Anthony Bolin. Gazillions. It's Brian King. Our other member was here, but she had to go to the hospital. Her brother's really ill. Gwendolyn Horton and Joanne Lashley. And our other board member who's not here right now, Olive Idahan. So we've been planning for a little over a year to get this together, and I do appreciate all of your hard work. If you don't have any other questions, I'm going to turn the microphone back over to our singers, and they're going to sing us out. The club has us down until 2, so eat, drink, and be merry until that time. And thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it.